He and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu were in the cave. And they were right there. These people that wanted to do horrible things to them were right there. And the Prophet ﷺ, of course, tells him, how is it, O Abu Bakr, with two people, and the third is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one affirming Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And he's telling Suraqa, how will it be when you are carrying the bracelets of the most powerful man in the world, the most powerful ruler in the world? That is prophetic vision beyond the moment. Khandaq, that is the greatest hardship that you experience as a people. You're fighting for your existence as a community against the people that want to wipe you off the face of the earth. And in the darkest times, in the ditch, you see the light of Islam spread throughout the world. Inna ma'al usri yusra. It's going to come out of this. Something is going to come out of this. So when you're in usr, you're overwhelmed. Your senses are gone. You're overwhelmed by the difficulty. And when was this surah revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, by the way? Was it revealed to the Prophet ﷺ as a victory lap? Was this after Badr that this was revealed? When is this revealed to the Prophet ﷺ? When there is no yusr in sight. That's when it's revealed to the Prophet ﷺ. Right? This is revealed in Mecca. When there is no rational pathway out of this. You couldn't sit with the Prophet ﷺ in those moments if we were limited to the rational and say to the Prophet ﷺ or say to other companions, look, here's how this is going to go. We have a plan. All right? Abyssinia is going to open up for us. The ruler of Abyssinia, the one ruler that will take us in, will thwart a rebellion, and he'll provide some ships just in case to eventually get to Medina. And this other place is going to open its doors to us, and you're going to have a people that love us more than they love themselves, that will jeopardize all of their alliances to establish a civilization in accordance with this message, that we have wealth coming from this direction, or we have help coming from this external empire. There is no rational pathway in the moment that this is revealed to the Prophet ﷺ and the companions. The Quran was not just for the Prophet ﷺ, right? There's nothing, you can't rationalize a pathway out. But look what Allah Azza wa Jalla did. Now imagine being a companion who was there when this was revealed in Mecca, and then 20 years later, you're doing Hajjatul Wada' from Medina with over 100,000 companions from Medina to Mecca, and everything between the two revolves around this message that a handful of followers were about to be wiped out with. Imagine what it was like for Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, or Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, to read this ayah, having lived through that history. Again, in the midst of it, it's hard to see. But they did not place their trust in the ability to see the rational pathway out. They placed their trust in the one who sees what they don't see. That was the point. What does Allah Azza wa Jalla say at the end of this? Inna ma'al usri yusra, inna ma'al usri yusra. I haven't started to break down some of the concepts yet. But what does Allah say at the end of this? فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَبْ. Now get back to worship. Focus on your worship. Keep paying attention. Next, move on to the next cause of worship. Move on to the next course of action to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's not going to be limited by these things. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does. Puts him back on track. Stay focused. That's the call to action at the end of this. Stay focused, stay engaged in worship. Not look for the next sign. Stay engaged in worship. It will come to you. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Verily, with every difficulty comes ease. Verily, with every difficulty comes ease. Now, scholars mention a few things here. Some of the scholars said the repetition here is a form of ta'keed. It's a form of just reaffirming, comforting the Prophet ﷺ. Verily, to say it twice, right? Some of the scholars also mention, if you pay attention, al-usr, inna ma' al-usr, one usr, verily with every single difficulty comes ease. It's not al-yusr,